can, but not too fast where it can be enjoyed by those. We do have two presentations that we'd like to have at this time. I'm going to ask Dana Watt from the George Watt Chili Cook-Off to come and make a presentation. Virginia Harold, are you going to receive it? Okay. If you would, you come on up. If you're supposed to be the one to receive the money.
Okay, I'm good at this. On behalf of the George Watt Chili Cook-Off, the Smoking 44's cook team, we'd like to present you with a $600 check for proceeds back to your center in Deer Park from our chili cook-off.
Thank you, Mr. Watt. We appreciate the work that y'all have done and different organizations that y'all have donated that money to.
Thank you, sir. And we're looking forward to next year.
Thank you. At this time, I'm going to ask Emily Munoz to come. We have a proclamation that I'm going to read. Whereas Genesis, let me just introduce, this is Emily Munoz with Genesis Energy. We appreciate you being with us tonight. Whereas Genesis Energy LP is a mainstream energy master limited partnership headquartered in Houston, Texas, with a diverse portfolio of customers, operations, and assets, including refinery-related plants, pipelines, storage terminals, and trucking operations. Whereas Genesis Energy is focused on providing the highest quality services and products to the industries they serve. The environment, health, and safety are the epicenter of everything they do. And whereas Genesis Energy is also comprised of dedicated volunteers and chosen to take time out of their demanding lives to help make the city of Deer Park a better place to live and make a significant positive contribution to bettering Dow Park, the community and cultural conditions of the city of Deer Park. And whereas volunteering is a time to review that fundamentally American idea of service and responsibilities, it's also a time to recognize the men and women who bring that principle into practice every day by lifting up the people around them. And whereas these individuals have become a positive force in our community and have demonstrated a common conviction that social responsibility manifests all that's good in the individual and that the well-being of a community is largely dependent on helping others. And where, therefore, I, Wayne Riddle, Mayor of the City of Deer Park, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and laws of the City of Deer Park, and with authority of the City Council, do hereby proclaim April 22nd, 2013 as Genesis Energy Day. I put the seal on it and signed it. And Parks and Recreation has prepared a collage of some of the pictures of the work that y'all were doing out there. And we thank you very much.
I'd just really like to say that as a corporation, Genesis Energy really appreciates the opportunity to come out and work in your park and get our hands dirty. We were a little bit nervous because it was a bunch of corporate people and not our operations guys, but I was really impressed with people pitchforking mulch and getting out there, and we were really surprised at how much work we got done that day, and we just really appreciate how much the City of Deer Park worked with us to make this happen. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Next item we have is canvass of the votes of the 11th, 2013 general election with the city secretary, and I will do that. You want me to call off the names and the votes, and you'll look at it. We'll start with position of mayor. Jeff Pound, early votes 640.
Yes, sir.
Election day votes 369.
Yes, sir.
Total votes 1,009.
Yes, sir.
36.72%.
Yes, sir.
Larry Cernisek, early votes 179. Election day votes 145. Total votes 324. 11.79%.
Yes, sir.
Jerry Mouton Jr., early votes 960. Election day 455. Total votes 1,415. 51.49%.
Yes, sir.
Council position 1, Sherry Garrison, early votes 976. Election day votes 520, total votes 1496, 55.82%.
Yes, sir.
Benny Bowles, position 1, council. Early votes 758, election day votes 426, total votes 1184, 44.18%.
Yes, sir.
Council position 2, Thane Harrison, early votes 1351, election day votes 732, total votes 2,083, 76.33%.
Yes, sir.
Council position 3, Chris Ritchie, early votes 1368, election day 754, total votes 2122, 77.70%.
Yes, sir.
Councilman Ritchie asked me to be sure and remind Councilman Harrison he got more votes than he did. So with that, we have an ordinance,
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Fox.
An ordinance canvassing the returns and declaring the results of the election held May 11, 2013 in the city of Deer Park, Texas for mayor, council member position 1, council member position 2, and council member position 3, and declaring an emergency.
Move approval, first and final reading.
Motion made, second, this ordinance be passed on first and final reading. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. At this time, I'd like to call Councilwoman Sherry Garrison, if you would, to come up. I'm going to ask Councilman Sam Pipkin if you would give her your seat, and thank you very much. Councilwoman Garrison, Councilman Harrison, Councilman Ritchie, if y'all would stand and repeat after me. Insert your name when I say aye or after I say aye. I do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties and the office of council person
that I will faithfully execute the duties of council person
of the city of Deer Park,
of the city of Deer Park,
state of Texas,
state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability.
and will to the best of my ability.
You don't have to-
No, they don't.
And of this state,
And of this state,
and the charter and ordinances of this city,
and charter and ordinances of this city,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, y'all. Now, at this time, I'd like to call the new mayor up, Jerry Mutai. Now, if you'll repeat after me. You'll repeat after me. State your name after I say aye. I
Jerry Mutai.
do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of mayor
of the office of mayor
of the city of Deer Park,
of the city of Deer Park,
state of Texas,
state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
and the charter and ordinances of this city,
and the charter and ordinances of this city.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. I'd like to present this to you, and hope you don't have to use it. Here are 3 keys. One of them is to the outer door of the building. The other one is to the glass doors where Libby's office is. And then the other key is to get into your office. So
wish you all the best.
Here we go. Number 2 item, awarding the bid proposal for 1-year supply of gas and diesel.
Move for approval. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Consent calendar, may I have a motion, please?
Move for approval.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Receiving correspondence, do you have anything today?
No, sir.
Do we have any comments from the audience? Anybody signed up?
Yes, sir.
We have Wendy Filling, Watley. Lindsay Filling.
What did you say?
Wendy Filling. Lindsay Filling. Please state your name for the record.
Lindsay Fielding. Your address. 2126 Watley Drive. I don't think anything can make me more comfortable. I wanted to address a concern from the March 5th City Council meeting, and I wanted it to go on public record. Mrs. Stockhill Cobb, after the meeting, inappropriately confronted a group of us supporting an issue concerning our neighborhood, an issue that had no personal connection with Ms. Stockhill Cobb. Ms. Stockhill, without regard to any political views, does not just represent herself. She represents our city, and she represents you, the council. Her behavior was quite shocking, distasteful, and disappointing. And with that, I would like to read my letter that was sent to her, and I received no response. Mrs. Stockhill Cobb, my name is Lindsay Fielding, and I live at 2126 Watley Drive. I wanted to write to you to express my disappointment to your reaction to Mrs. Cortez's withdrawal on Tuesday evening pertaining to the rezoning. I can understand your support for the matter, as I would hope that you would equally understand our support for not wanting the rezoning. I was disgusted that you, a representative of the city of Deer Park, would act in such a childish, unprofessional manner and would make the comments you made to my neighbors. Not one time over the last year and a half process did any Watley Drive owner make any negative comment to Mrs. Cortez or in our protest protest presented to the council. And on multiple occasions, we expressed that our decision to fight against the rezoning of this property was not a personal attack of Ms. Cortez, but simply a plea to save our neighborhood. There is no law that states we cannot express joy or excitement when the council voted in our favor. The comment you made in front of many of our neighbors stating the property will become commercial whether you like it or not only shocks me, but puts a huge doubt in my confidence in the city council's ability to make truthful decisions on any matter. We, the citizens, are given the right to these public hearings as a way for our voices to be heard. Clearly, you closed-mindedly sat up there without any intentions of hearing both sides. There is no reason to further argue against the rezoning of this property at this time, but I will make these final comments on the matter. I do not feel that you or any other city council member can honestly say without any reservations or concerns that you would want to live right next door or directly in view of any business should this issue have been regarding your street or neighborhood. with your comments made that evening and doubting that anyone fighting for this issue or any issue in your neighborhood, just as Ms. Cortez did, would have the opportunity to come before the council at all before you shut it down. The points against the matter are all valid and truthful and from our hearts. It is undeniable that this or any other future rezoning of this property that you clearly foresee would lower our property values and destroy the Mayberry-like street we call home. I am disappointed that the huge support that we had gained from not only our street, but from many neighboring areas that signed petitions and made their appearance last Tuesday did not sway you in the least. For you to have such a snooty attitude to make the comments that you did with no remorse in front of so many obvious, caring, and active citizens blows my mind. I believe you have disappointed us all, not by your vote for the rezoning, as that right is clearly yours, but by your distasteful comments and attitude. Thank you.
Kenny Moore. Say your name and address.
Kenny Moore, 2202 Watley, Deer Park, Texas. So I'm here too to talk about the March 5th City Council meeting that took place. Thought it was appropriate tonight to come talk to you guys because of the change of the guard. You guys are taking over a new group of people, right? You specifically are leading a new group of people. The issue around the rezoning is not really the issue that I'm here to discuss. It's the behavior of Ms. Cobb after the meeting. We were standing right here in the council. She came around and spoke very harshly. She repeatedly, well, first of all, she said several times that the rezoning will happen and there's nothing you can do about it. I thought that's why we were there that night, to discuss like adults and talk about the issue and have a vote on it. So the point of coming up here, I think, is important for all of us. And for her to tell us that it's going to happen whether we like it or not is rude, unprofessional, and disrespectful. So we tried to have an adult conversation that night. She talked over us, she bullied us, she was unprofessional and rude. And it was very distasteful. I felt like I had been sent to the principal's office and scolded by my teacher. That's not how adults treat each other. So I hope that you guys can recognize the behaviors and maybe provide some kind of guidance to drive new behaviors in the council, because it takes away from this council's credibility.
Thank you for your comments. Mary Moore.
Mary Moore, 2202 Watley, Deer Park. After the March 5th council meeting where a rezoning issue was discussed, Becky Stockstill Cobb stepped down from her seat and approached myself and a group of concerned citizens in this chamber, not to introduce herself or to thank us for attending, but to verbally overpower the group. Ms. Cobb made an inappropriate comment to us that you need to be aware of. This comment was in regards to the rezoning issue. Her statement was this: "This change is going to happen and there is nothing anyone can do about it." It is my obligation as a citizen of Deer Park to bring my concerns before the City Council. And it is the duty of every council member to openly and objectively listen to these concerns. In my opinion, the behavior Ms. Cobb displayed that night is an abuse of power, and our City Council as a whole needs to be aware when behavior such as this occurs.
Thank you. Jason Morris.
I got to give her my letter.
Good evening. Please state your name.
Jason Morse, 414 Bradshaw Court. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Congratulations on the successful election. I'm here tonight actually representing a pastor of Sozo Church, presently in Pasadena. And tonight our specific use permit's coming for approval. And so I'm just here to represent our church to let you know that we're excited about the opportunity we have to move into the city of Deer Park. I'm a graduate of Deer Park, resident of Deer Park, And we look forward to impacting our community and being a part of great things that are going on there. And if there's any questions that the council have regarding that, just wanted to make myself available to answer those.
If anybody does, we'll get with you.
Thank you.
Andrew Presley.
Good evening. Congratulations, Sherry and Jerry. I'm here tonight to share with you my correspondence. This is actually an old incident, but I feel it's very necessary to bring this out, bring it forward. I'm going to go ahead and read what I was going to give Sandra, and just go ahead and have this down for the record. So, dear City Council members, May 2011, I ran for City Council Position 1, the former seat of the late and well-respected Charles Garrison. Also on the ballot that year was the 4B sales tax increase and 2 other propositions. After extensive research, I decided that I would oppose the 4B tax, also known as the Type B tax. My opposition to the tax became part of my platform, and I informed citizens as to why I opposed it. I lost the race for position 1 that year, and once again, the 4B tax increase failed to pass. After the polls had closed on election day, as I was gathered outside with my husband and several other supporters, Becky Stockstill-Cobb approached our group, obviously upset and had been crying. When asked what was wrong, she said she was sick and in mourning that the 4B tax had not passed. Then, with a raised voice, she pointed her finger at me and said that it was all my fault that it had failed to pass. Everyone was so surprised that a public figure such as herself would behave in this manner. There were more exchanges of words concerning the 4B tax and other issues. As Mrs. Cobb ranted about her position on the issue, she stepped forward into my personal space, and when I gave my own opinion, and began to verbally attack me. I was shocked that someone in her position would lose their self-control and behave so unprofessionally. This was bullying at its best. My husband had to step in between her and I and informed her that the discussion was over and that she should leave. Unfortunately, her behavior has not seemed to improve over the years, as evidenced by some of her recent actions and other incidences over the many years I've been observing. There comes a time when it must be said that enough is enough.
Thank you. The last one to sign up is Jeff Town.
Very good.
And while he's on his way up, just for the audience, during the comments from the audience, council can't respond to anything. It's just their opportunities to address those with the concerns they have.
I just want to congratulate you, Jerry, if you don't start my time yet, because you know I like to talk, so hang down on to that. You may need that tonight. Congratulations to you too, sir. My name is Jeff Pound. I live at 414 Kemsworth Court. Everything that I'm going to speak to you tonight came from an open records request from our city secretary. I have copies if you'd like to see them, or if anybody else in the audience would like to take a look at them. I'll go fast, if I can. Tonight I'd like to speak to you. I'd like to tell you the truth. I'd like to tell you the truth about one of our elected officials, Councilwoman Stockstill-Cobb. Looking back at previous council meeting minutes, it is quite obvious that she does not represent the citizens of Deer Park. Our city employees, and quite frankly, in my opinion, may be incompetent to serve. I'd like to read a few comments from previous minutes, if I may. With over 10 years sitting on council, one would think that she'd be more knowledgeable on the issues facing our city. In May 2010, after she was sworn in, she stated that, and I quote, "We are faced with a number of challenges, which we will meet head-on and do the best we can for each and every one of our citizens." End quote. Following a public hearing for rezoning request that failed, which the Watley Street resident spoke of earlier tonight, which she voted for, her rude comments to them was a disgrace to this city council. an example at best of her lack of respect to our tax-paying community. Her disorderly conduct and failure to obey city ordinances on Saturday, May the 11th, in front of many others, some of them children, was totally uncalled for and demonstrated her lack of ability to use good judgment and failure to possess good leadership traits, which is needed in your positions. I sat next to you for 4 years, especially in front of so many of her own constituents. I like to read other examples that show her incompetence. Regarding the political sign ordinance from March the 5th, 2013, which this city council voted on, Mrs. Cobb made the motion, and it was seconded by Councilwoman Patterson. I'm only reading the minutes. It says Councilwoman Patterson. To adopt it on the first and final reading. Then less than 4 weeks later, the same ordinance, the political sign ordinance, came back to this council to change the wording. Councilman Pipkin, and seconded by Councilwoman Cobb, to adopt the ordinance on the first and final reading. But here's the quote, and I quote the minutes from Councilwoman Cobb. What does the sign ordinance say now? Do we have a limit to the number of signs? Less than 4 weeks away. A petition will be submitted to this city secretary this week in accordance with the city charter Article 4, legislation by the people, initiative, referendum, and recall. With 19,008 registered voters in our city, we understand that we must obtain 30% of them as signers. We also understand that we have 180 days to circulate the petition and to do so in good faith. Concerned citizens will be asking for the recall of Councilwoman Becky Stockstill-Cobb from the Deer Park City Council by respectfully requesting an immediate recall of her resignation from position 5. Members of this city council are to be held accountable to the taxpayers in our city and to be good stewards with tax dollars that we provide. Within the last 4 years, Councilwoman Cobb's trips to Orlando, Florida, Corpus Christi, Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, Austin, Denver, and Washington, D.C. for conferences is evidence of wasteful spending of taxpayers' money. Many of these conferences offer courses that can be done online from the comfort of our own home. After an open records request, I found travel expenses ranging from airline tickets from $309 to $1,549, hotel rooms for several nights from $300 to $456 a night, excluding tax. Appetizers and desserts, $27 a piece, steak dinners at $140 each for her and her spouse. $9 for cups of coffee, $6 for a bottle of water, $17 for drinks that I had to Google to pronounce them. Our city, it's your job to take care of my safety, my health, and my welfare, and pass ordinances to do so. We have $17 million roughly in all the rainy day accounts, 32,000 residents in a city less than 16 square miles, and a $54 million budget, not 65. So I ask you, with the $60 million facing us to address the flooding and drainage issues and the much needed funding for our park, why?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to new business. Item number 12, consideration of and action on a settlement of medical expenses for Francis McDaniel. Motion.
Move for approval. I'll second the motion, but
Needs to be with the receipt.
why are we gonna put some words in there about
Conditional on the receipt.
Jim, can we help with the word?
Yeah, the payment's conditional on the receipt of a full release.
Motion, exactly what he just said.
Your second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item 13, consideration of and an action on a resolution amending the personnel policy manual relating to workmen's compensation and a right to fill vacant positions. Mr. Fox?
Yes, Mayor, a resolution of the City Council of City of Deer Park revising the personnel manual of the City of Deer Park by amending section 6.6 and 6.7 related to workers' compensation injury leave and the right to fill vacant positions.
Move for approval on first and final. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 14, consideration of and an action on an ordinance rescheduling the joint public hearing to rezone Savannah Oaks Apartments. Mr. Fox?
Yes, Mayor, ordinance rescheduling a joint public hearing to June 18, 2013 by the City Council and the Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Deer Park, Texas, on proposed amendment to ordinance number 819, the zoning ordinance placing the general commercial zoning district at 1.4317 acres out of Reserve B of College Park, Section 1, Deer Park, Pierce County, Texas, also known as 8015 Spencer Highway, Deer Park, Texas, and taking the same out of multifamily 2 zoning district and declaring an emergency.
Move for approval on first and final.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Number 15, consideration of and action on a recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission and a proposed ordinance on the request of Sozo Church for a church and church office at 4200 Center Street. Mr. Fox?
Ordinance granting a specific use permit to Sozo Church to hold worship services and religious retreats on the site located at 4200 Center Street, Deer Park, Texas, and declaring an emergency.
Move for approval of first and final reading.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Number 16, consideration of and action on an ordinance appointing 2 members to the Planning and Zoning Board of Adjustments. Mr. Fox?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance appointing 2 members of the Planning and Zoning Commission and the Board of Adjustments of the City of Deer Park, Texas, specifying their terms and declaring emergency, that Benny Matusek and Hal Anderson be and each are hereby appointed as regular members of the Planning and Zoning Commission and the Board of Adjustments.
Is it Benny or Benny?
Benny Matusek and Hal Anderson. Did I mispronounce it? I'm sorry.
No, it's just mine says right.
Is there a typo on it?
It's Hal Anderson and Benny Matusek.
Benny Matusek is correct. Need a motion?
Move for approval on first and final reading.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Number 17, consideration of and action on an ordinance appointing 2 alternate members to the Board of Adjustment. Mr. Fox?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance for appointing 2 alternate members of the Board of Adjustment to the City of Park, Texas for a term ending May 31st, 2015, declaring emergency. That Ron Martin and Danielle Lindenberg be and each are hereby appointed as alternate members of the Board of Adjustment of the City of Deer Park.
Move both here.
First and final. Ron was here.
Ron's here.
Ron's here.
Danielle here?
Danielle here?
He's right there.
I'm sorry. You made the original motion. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Hang on. Discussion? Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Number 18, consideration of and action on the ordinance appointing 2 members to the Recreation Board. Mr. Fox?
An ordinance, yes, Mayor, an ordinance appointing 2 members of the Parks and Recreation Commission of the City of Deer Park, Texas, and declaring an emergency. That Glenda Jo Kiefer and Carrie Gilly be and hereby appointed as members of the Parks and Recreation Commission of the City of Deer Park.
Pleasure.
Move for approval on first and final reading.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item 19, consideration of and an action on the designation of the Mayor Pro Tem. We don't need to mention that list, it's just been handed out.
Move for approval.
Second.
Second.
We had to update it one, right?
Yes. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Any comments from council?
It's a great honor to be elected to this city. It's an even greater honor to sit in this city. And I want to introduce my children. I'm going to embarrass the ones that are here. My daughter Jennifer, Miss Tracy, and Jennifer. Jack, my son-in-law. Gracie, my granddaughter, where are you? My son Todd. Did he leave? Oh, that figures. My daughter-in-law Georgette and my granddaughter Morgan. Anyway, I just wanted to introduce them because this will probably be the first and last time we see them here. You know, today or last night, I got an email from my daughter. My granddaughter had to interview me, and she was asking me some questions, quite lengthy questions, very interesting questions. The last question was, what kind of leader are you? I thought it was a very profound question, and you know, sometimes out of the mouths of babes come very eye-opening questions, and I think the thing that came to my mind is a true leader serves. And so the pledge that I make to you tonight is that I will serve with an open heart, that I will serve with honesty and integrity. Thank you very much.
First of all, I'd like to recognize Melissa's daughter and my oldest son, Dane Harrison Jr., TJ for short, and his lovely wife. Melissa was here earlier with our two youngest grandkids. We have 9, and our two youngest are 2 and 4. And she got out of here quick after the swearing in. It's an honor to serve the citizens of Deer Park for 2 more years. I've enjoyed the last 8 years, and I've given it everything I have. I always vote what I think is best for the people of this city, and I will continue to do that. I want to congratulate newly elected Councilwoman Garrison. I've sat up here with her before for a very short period of time, and I had the pleasure of sitting by her husband for 6 years, who I deeply, deeply respect. And congratulations to our new mayor, Mr. Mouton, Mayor Mouton. And I look forward to serving with both of you. Congratulations to Councilman Ritchie for his big win. And I look forward to the next 2 years of serving with all of you. Thank you very much.
Well, I would introduce my family, but they're not here tonight. They're at my son's pre-K graduation, which I'm not at tonight. But it brings me to just a point. Mayor Riddle, thank you for sacrificing so much. I know me missing this one event in my family's life meant you missed over 30 plus years of events and sacrifices, and I just want to say thank you for taking me in as somebody that was pretty much an outsider here, and being just such a great leader and providing great guidance. And I think our city is in good hands, and appreciate your leadership, and I just want to say that. Thank you. Sherry, I'm excited for you. I think you're going to be a wonderful addition to this team. I love your honesty, I love your integrity, and I just love who you are. And I just agree with Thane. It was a privilege to serve with Charles, and I'm excited for the privilege to get to serve with you as well. I look forward to great, great things coming out of seat 1. We're the quiet side, and I realize that's probably changing. I'm not supposed to clap to that. Thanks. It's a privilege to serve with you, and I look forward to getting to continue to do that. Congratulations on your win. And Mayor Mouton, congratulations. And look forward to these next 2 years and seeing all that's going to happen, and very excited for you. And look forward to great things to come. So, thank you.
Mayor Riddle, thank you for the years of service. Peggy and I were privileged to live across the street from you in January for many years until we made the big financial decision to move away. Enjoyed your friendship, enjoyed your years of leadership. Jean and all the checking she did on senior citizens and other people around that needed to be helped. You set a great example. Appreciate that, and I would hope that you would continue to serve in some way, and I know you will. Sherry, congratulations. Glad to work with you again. thing you can't hear, so. Appreciate the years that you've served on the city council, and the years of service. Likewise, thank you for this. Thank you very much. Jerry, I'm looking forward to serving with you. You're right, it was a tough act. But Mayor Ryan and Mayor Burr, the previous mayors of this big community are saying their example. A little bit about boards and commissions. I appreciate the people. I mean, we are the ones that, I guess you might say, run for election. We were the ones that maybe the public sees. But behind our city are people that serve on these boards and commissions, people that serve on the Parks Commission, people that serve on the Planning and Zoning, the Bureau of Adjustment. Am I saying the Board of Adjustment? The Bureau, that's what the FBI's been doing. I want to thank Stan Garrett. He chose to not stay as an alternate on the Board of Adjustment, and Stan gave many years of service, and I appreciate his service. Likewise, I appreciate the fact that we have two new people, Danielle and Ron. Danielle's a longtime resident at Deer Park. She was willing to serve on the library. She loves to read. She's got grandkids. I can relate to that. But yet, she's a business owner here in the city, Liberty Mortgage. She's the president and owner, and thank you, Danielle, for wanting to serve. Look forward to you adding a lot of good input to our whole planning and zoning arena. Likewise, Ron is a young fellow, has a history of volunteerism, graduate of the University of Texas in biological sciences. He's director of commercial development at Air Liquid for therapeutic gases in North America. We're privileged to have folks like that with these kind of qualifications. We've had people, Mr. Matuzak, Hal Anderson, Joe Kiefer, all the others that served. Just so much appreciate their service. Thank you, folks, and it's an honor to represent our city. Thank you very much.
I want to say thank you to Wayne and Jean Riddle. Many, many years of sacrifice and good, solid wisdom and leadership for all of us. We all appreciate it. I know I'm no different than anyone else, but we do appreciate what you've done for us. You helped pave the way for us, and of course you were here to guide us along and help us, and I personally appreciate that. Wayne, Jean, I appreciate all of y'all coming out tonight. It's good to see so many people. I know it's here, y'all are here for Sherry and Jerry, but it's really nifty to see everybody. We appreciate y'all coming and your participation. Congratulations, Miss Sherry. It's great to serve with you again. I was so honored to serve with Charles, and was sad that you didn't choose to run then, but glad you did this time. And we appreciate your willingness to serve and help lead us into the future as well. They know? Great. Yeah, I don't know how y'all do this. You always get no opponents, and congratulations, you two. Enjoy serving with you. Jerry, if Mayor had to retire, and I understand his need to and want to, God sent us someone that is as close to perfect, well, you're the perfect person to fill his shoes, and we appreciate your willingness to serve. I wish you well. I know you will do well. And thank you for that. And it continues to be an honor to serve the citizens of this town. Maybe they don't agree with me or whatever happens, but I do it from my heart, and that's what counts. And I appreciate your willingness to serve.
Mayor Riddle and Jean, we shared our hearts with you last week, but we'll do it again. We do appreciate you. 32 years of doing anything, whether it's your company, and this was volunteer for very little pay, and you continue to do it. And Jean, he a blessed man to have you by his side, and I think everyone recognizes that, him especially. So thank you for your service. I'm sure we haven't seen the last of you. but it's quite an accomplishment, 32 years of serving this community. And I know everyone here is here for the two being sworn in, but also to say goodbye and show their respects to the two of you, so thank you. Sherry, I am thrilled, as you know, to have you on that other end. I know Garrison is smiling down with a full heart and so proud of you, as am I, and so many of your friends and family. You too, yeah, you'll do in a pinch. And Jerry, we've had our differences, and I'm sure we will continue to have a few of those along the way, but I want to congratulate you, and I look forward, honestly, to working alongside you, to leading the city. You're our mayor, and I will do everything I can to help you and to help all of us do what we should be doing here, which is leading the city forward and representing all of our citizens. So congratulations.
If it's okay, Mayor, we have a Betty Belusic and a Ray Matusik, and those get confused sometimes, and they're both on the board. So how about we just wait one more meeting just to make sure that we get that right. The memo says one thing, and we just want to make sure we get it right. Both good people qualified.
So we're going to re-correct it on the next meeting?
That's okay, yes.
That's fine with me.
If it needs to be corrected.
Okay.
Check the first.
Do we need to amend the motion that we're going to postpone that?
I think we're 100% sure which one is supposed to be sworn.
Ray?
It's Ray.
Okay, well,
If it's Ray, then you need to change.
We need to change.
Revote on that, change.
So guidance on, do you
Just
want
that
to go
one
ahead and do
person
it now?
That would be fine.
yes,
So
sir.
who made the motion?
Bill?
Bill? You want to correct your motion that it was, okay?
Is that a Benny?
Correct.
It's Ray Belusic.
Motion to make it, to adjust that motion to read Ray Belusic.
Ray Belusic.
Ray Belusic.
Yeah, I got it, Bill. I got it.
Who seconded the motion?
Second that.
Do we need to re-vote and everything?
Yes.
So any discussions on that? We're all correct on that?
Ray Belusic. I got it.
All in favor for
Are you sure about this, Jerry?
item number 16, where we are amending it to Hal Anderson and say it?
Ray Belusic.
All in favor? All opposed?
Welcome on board, Mayor.
Yeah, everyone for coming. I want to thank all the candidates that ran for this last election, all the voters that participated in the process. It was a very humbling experience to be a part of a process that is the core foundation of what makes America what it is today. It was a humbling experience 2 years ago when I was blessed enough to sit in position one and follow a man of much wisdom and many years of experience that served our city great enough. I congratulate you on following in his steps, and it was a tremendous honor for me now to be following in the steps of Wayne Riddle. And it's very humbling. I look forward to the challenge. I'm excited to be working with each of you. Congratulations to Thane and Chris, and you got more votes, right? Okay. And on this side, the side that tends to make more noise than the side I was originally on, so I'm not even worried. We're gonna have a rally situation. I'm looking forward to serving with each of you and being about the people's business. I think we have a great city that I'm looking forward to leading into the future. And I want to recognize my family. I guess I'll start over here with my mother, Beverly Sanders. I guess without her, I most probably would not be here. My father, Jerry Mouton Sr., who had a good time harassing anybody, trying to get confused about who was actually on the balance, but I think all of us can tell it's definitely not him. And then my lovely wife, Tammy Plant Mouton, she's the reason why I'm in Deer Park. And my 3 children who are just a tremendous blessing to me. Corey and Courtney, who are twins, raise y'all's hand. And then Natalie, who is our baby. She is a senior this year at Deer Park High and fixing to be leaving us, and we're debating on what we're going to turn her room into. So I'm looking forward to having an extra room, so she'll have to find a place to sleep. Thank all of you for coming. Thank the staff for all that y'all have done recently, and I appreciate all y'all's hard work and getting me to this point, and I'm looking forward to y'all continuing all that hard work and keeping me out of trouble. So thanks to all my friends and everybody that are here tonight, and y'all have a wonderful evening.